All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are tackling something that is absolutely crucial for modern businesses. Look, we've all known the sheer panic of a reactive scramble, right? You know the drill, waiting for the alarm bells to ring when a breach has already happened, and suddenly everyone is running around with their hair on fire. It's chaotic, it's incredibly expensive, and frankly, it is totally outdated. It's time we step firmly into the era of proactive digital resilience. And the engine driving a massive chunk of this transformation? Well, it's Kali Linux. Let's get right into it. So here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the cybersecurity imperative, the proactive security shift, network risk, modern enterprise defense, and finally, future-ready resilience. We're moving logically from the macro global landscape right down to the nitty-gritty of tactical enterprise defense. Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, the cybersecurity imperative, securing interconnected digital environments. Think about it for a second. Modern businesses absolutely depend on resilient infrastructures. And we're not just talking about big, isolated IT projects. We're talking about minute-to-minute survival.
To put that into perspective, modern digital infrastructure really relies on three core pillars: secure operations, regulatory compliance, and sustainable digital transformation. As cyber risks evolve at breakneck speed, organizations desperately need ethical, rock-solid approaches that strengthen these three areas while still pushing for continuous innovation. You can't just unplug the router, lock everything down, and expect your business to grow, right? You need sustainable, adaptable frameworks to actually survive in the modern market.
And that brings us perfectly to Kali Linux. Now, if you're in the field, you definitely know the name. You probably know it primarily as an offensive tool, the quote-unquote hacker's OS of choice. But we need to totally reframe that today. Kali is actually a comprehensive open-source platform for authorized security assessments and rigorous defensive practices. It's the foundational enterprise-grade engine that empowers organizations to build those resilient, interconnected ecosystems we were just talking about.
Moving right along to Section 2, the proactive security shift from reactive to preventative. I want to ask you directly, does your organization sit around waiting for a breach to respond? Or do you actively hunt for vulnerabilities well before they become threats?
Now, what's really interesting about this is the stark contrast in how organizations operate today. Reactive security means responding exclusively after a challenge emerges, which is basically like waiting to check your car's brakes until you're already crashing into a wall. Proactive security, however, means identifying potential vulnerabilities well before they ever hit your operational environments. Simply put, waiting for an attack is just no longer a viable business strategy. The modern landscape absolutely demands a preventative approach.
To actually make that proactive shift, we rely heavily on ethical vulnerability assessments. So, what are these? They're authorized, responsible evaluations designed to identify weak points and support informed decision-making long before any bad actors can exploit them. Kali Linux is the vital mechanism used to responsibly execute these strategies. It allows security professionals to ethically evaluate networks, authentication systems, and overall configurations using the exact same rigorous methods a real-world attacker might use.
Consider this thought. Proactive vulnerability management additionally strengthens stakeholder confidence by demonstrating organizational commitments to responsible cybersecurity practices. So, what's the real takeaway here? This isn't just about playing IT defense. It is fundamentally about trust. Proactive management directly secures stakeholder confidence and ensures that your business operations can run without those devastating headline-making disruptions.
Let's move to Section 3, Network Security and Risk, Monitoring the Ecosystem. We're going to zoom in a bit here and examine how this proactive philosophy actively applies to everyday, micro-level network monitoring.
Cloud services, distributed infrastructures, enterprise applications. These interconnected technologies are the absolute backbone of modern business, but man, they introduce a massive amount of complexity and risk. Securing them demands a multidisciplinary approach. You can't just patch a single server in the back room and call it a day anymore. The entire, massive, interconnected ecosystem has to be constantly evaluated.
Let's see how this builds, because to manage that interconnected risk, a clear methodology is required. First up, Step 1, Technical Assessments. This is testing the waters to see exactly where you stand. Those initial assessments feed directly into Step 2, Continuous Monitoring. This is keeping a watchful eye on your systems 24/7. And finally, that constant stream of data allows you to build Step 3, Adaptive Cybersecurity Strategies. Integrating these steps using tools like Kali Linux transforms raw data into true operational readiness. It ensures your security evolves just as fast as your business requirements do.
Which brings us to Section 4, Defending the Modern Enterprise Layered Methodologies. Now that we've looked at the tactical steps on the ground, we need to zoom back out and discuss how these specific applications scale up to defend an entire sprawling enterprise infrastructure.
There is a direct, undeniable connection between technical action and real business value here. Proper security auditing leads directly to improved governance across the entire board. Continuous monitoring, that yields essential situational awareness, letting leadership know exactly what's happening at any given moment. And collaborative defense results in a strengthened capacity to address challenges. Using a platform like Kali Linux isn't just some isolated IT task. It actively drives sustainable digital risk management and incredibly robust corporate governance. And I really want to highlight that third piece, collaborative defense. It is absolutely crucial. Enterprise cyber defense requires a deeply layered methodology where three key groups work in tandem: cybersecurity professionals, organizational leaders, and technology specialists. Addressing emerging challenges responsibly is not just the security department's job anymore. It's a collaborative organizational imperative that requires everyone to have a seat at the table. Finally, we reach Section 5, Future-Ready Digital Resilience, Sustaining Innovation. Let's look at the overarching future mandate for global digital transformation and enterprise cyber defense. Resilience, adaptability, ethical, technological innovation. Let's just pause on these words for a second. This is what it's all about. These three concepts completely define the future of interconnected digital environments. If your security strategy doesn't actively support these three pillars right now, it is already obsolete. So, the crucial point is that the physical reality of our environments is changing incredibly fast. We are shifting away from traditional infrastructures behind well-defined, comfortable firewalls and moving directly into sprawling, borderless cloud computing technologies. Now, this global transformation introduces incredible opportunities, for sure. But because that traditional network perimeter has completely dissolved, responsible cloud security practices and rigorous assessment methodologies are absolutely indispensable for any kind of sustainable innovation moving forward. As emerging technologies completely reshape our world, organizations must prioritize adaptable frameworks. Frameworks that promote continuous learning, deep collaboration, and sustainable innovation. And this is exactly where Kali Linux continues to prove its immense value. It empowers cybersecurity professionals to strengthen vulnerability management and meaningfully contribute to these adaptable, future-ready frameworks across absolutely any industry. Building a truly secure digital ecosystem today requires a combination of ethical security assessments, resilient infrastructure planning, and non-stop continuous organizational preparedness. The good news? You have the methodologies, and you have platforms like Kali Linux to make that vital shift from reactive scrambling to proactive, resilient defense. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Is your digital ecosystem future-ready, or are you just reacting to the present? It's time to take control of your digital resilience. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.